For many, summer means time off, but in the world of monster trucks, it's quite the opposite. Victory lane here is paved in carnage, wild rides, and a lot of hard work as the monsters return to Motor Mile Speedway for an all-out war on the tarmac. Monster Power is back at the Motor Mile Speedway in Radford, Virginia. Fairlawn to be exact, in the Radford metropolitan area. And this show last year was an outstanding one. This year promises to be even better. The crowd is still filing in. We're holding off showtime just a little bit longer so these fans can see this event in its entirety. Some changes in the lineup this year. Team Scream Jim Kohler brings the Avenger to the infield of the Motor Mile Speedway, and Christian Norman will be taking over driving duties in Bigfoot, this time around the Lucas Oil Bigfoot, the Gold Body. And who could forget Natural Disaster Racing, Stephen Thompson, and glad to see this guy back at the wheel, Tim Mendy in Storm Damage. And then one of the big stories rolling in, Chris Kohler in Brutus, and there on the other side of Brutus, you see John Gordon in Bad Company. This promises to be an awesome evening of racing and freestyle here at the Motor Mile Speedway. The monsters hit the track. Coming up, stay with us. Welcome back to the Motor Mile Speedway in Radford, Virginia, where the Monster Truck Racing League gets set to kick off its third major event of the 2018 season. And starting off the wheelie competition will be a hard charger, Stephen Thompson in Hurricane Force out of Hagerstown, Maryland. Solid first hit. Tell you what, the downward angle of those headers is blowing dust all over the place. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what that does to these guys in racing. It's for a second hit. Huge move right there. Trips him up, comes down hard on the front end. Not a bad start for Stephen Thompson. He'll head back around and get this thing ready for qualifying. But he definitely has a good feel for the truck in terms of how the suspension is going to handle here tonight. And look at that, a little bit off to the left-hand side. Didn't hurt him too bad, running Firestones on the rear and the Goodyears in the front. Looks like he's getting plenty of bite off that rear end, threw him skyward, and he hit that's the racing lane, he actually hit the up ramp. Hit that jump on the backside. It tripped him over right there. Up next, Christian Norman out of Pacific, Missouri, driving Bigfoot. Lucas Oil scheme on this truck, the bright gold machine, one of the most beautiful schemes to come out of that camp in recent memory. Didn't get much out of that one. I don't think that's quite what he was going for. Wait and see what he's got for his second hit as he attacks this racing lane over here. Not bad, but I think Christian wanted a little bit more. The truck looks solid, though. He's going to be one to go after tonight. As he heads back to the pit area. Showing off the power in the back end of that Bigfoot 4x4 incorporated machine out of Pacific, Missouri. Now this is the second hit. Again, I don't think that first hit was at all what he was hoping for. There's a little van stack back there near the pits, and I think he was hoping it would stand the truck up a little bit more. Not a bad hit, though, there the second time around, but it was going to be hard to beat Stephen Thompson. All right, next vehicle up, and this is one a lot of people came to see. Chris Kohler out of Columbus, Michigan, and the Team Scream Brutus. Been making his name, getting a lot of hang time, and he does it right there. Way up and over. Biggest air so far, and he's bent up the left front rim as he comes around. his way around. Second hit, let's see if he can back it up. He does indeed. Big pair of hits for Chris Kohler. And he has flattened that rim out. Wow. Taking it to the next level. They've shut him down up there in turn number 1, so Kohler, second look at it right here. Watch this thing come down. Hit a ton on that left front. Look at the second hit from down on the infield, and you could see the hang time he had. Again. What a lick he took there. They refired the truck, and he's actually got a tire going down. Well, it is down. Well, he might have bent the rim bad enough to defeat the tire, so Chris Kohler now will have to hurry back to the pit area and try to get this thing ready for monster truck qualifying as we set up for our next competitor, which I believe will be Storm Damage and Tim Menti. Real quick though, we're going to get another look at that first hit and want you to see the deflection. That's how hard he hit right there. You can see that tire collapsed completely. And it actually allowed the rim to come completely in contact with the pavement, and it pushed the rim flat. 2 hits like that hurt him easily. You can see him in the background there taking the truck over to the trailer. Tim Menti, Storm Damage, made his first hit. Good second hit, and also like Bigfoot, I don't believe that's what Tim was going for in that first hit. He hit that same fan stack. Storm Damage. Tim Menti now coming back around. Make his way down the front stretch here and head for the pit area. Beautiful square body Chevy out of the state of Maryland, Clarksburg, Maryland, and Tim Fields, 2 of the strongest machines in the business. Up next, another guy we've been waiting to see. This is John Gordon. This will be our first look at him. The Bad Company Chevrolet out of Hiram, Georgia. Truck formerly under the identity of the Hooligan. Chassis came a long way for John to take it out to run it. He's going to make his way all the way over to the other side. Look at the cloud of dust. Lost him in there with the glare from the sun. To wonder how well he can see. Pretty strong first hit. Gordon now setting up for his next one. Now he's lining the truck up. He was going for something there, and it did not quite materialize. He was trying to stand that truck straight up and down, I think, and walking down the other side. He has been known to stand this truck on its nose, moonwalk, or at least attempt to. That's why the grill is hanging off, actually. He put this truck on its lid about a week ago down in Oklahoma, so not afraid to get after it. Not a bad run for John Gordon, but I don't think he's going to top what Chris Kohler just did in Brutus. Bad Company. Now we'll set, prepare for qualifications as our final competitor makes his way out. There you see Chris Kohler and Brutus down the other side of the truck. They're trying to get that tire switched out. They do have a spare on a double-sided rim. Here you're on board with Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler. Let's see what he's got. Gets some nice air out of the Avenger. 57 Bel Air as he makes his way around. Hanging up by the wall there a little bit. It's actually a little more narrow on this front stretch than it looks like. It's not as wide a space as it may look on the front side. Big hit for Jim Kohler. Nicely done. the warm-up for the rest of the action this evening, so you can imagine with the air they were getting there, they're going to be going even bigger in freestyle, but they've still got qualifying and racing to get through before we get there. Jim Kohler putting the truck back in the pit area. Here's a look at that first hit, and it was a good one. He tripped himself over a little quicker than I think he wanted to, but he got some nice air out of it. The second hit was beautiful. Darn near perfect. Look at him stand this big green machine up. Trips him back down. Didn't land quite as nose down as Stephen Thompson did. The truck soaked it up beautifully. Look at it from onboard. You'll see just how vertical it was. Nothing but ground out that side window. You can see those shock absorbers going to work. As we wait.
Who thinks your wheelie contest winner should be that big, bad, jumping dog, Chris Kohler in Bruno?
And I think we have a winner, and indeed we do. The wheelie champion to start things off. Chris Kohler starting it off strong. Brutus goes into racing with some momentum, but can he get that tire repaired in time to make qualifying? Stay with us. Monster Power is back at the Motor Mile Speedway in Radford, Virginia. Getting ready for monster truck qualifying. Stephen Thompson once again will set the pace for this. Chris Ross throwing the flag. Stephen Thompson is off and running and very, very strong out of the hole. Clipping the freestyle obstacle in the corner there a little bit. That might hurt him. We'll wait and see. Little bit of slide in the final corner as he heads for the finish line jump. Good run for Stephen Thompson. We'll have to see how it stacks up later on after the other five, run in the field at 26:01. So we'll see what the track time is as the evening goes on. Bigfoot Christian Norman now on the line. Very, very strong takeoff for the machine out of Pacific, Missouri. Tremendously fast on the backstretch portion of the course, and a lot of slide for Christian Norman in the final turn. He corrects, and he crosses the finish line. In a cloud of dust, we will see what the time was. It looked a bit faster. It was 24:71. We'll put him in the #1 position for the moment. Up next, Tim Menti out of Clarksburg, Maryland. This is Storm Damage. Not a bad takeoff for Tim, but he's a little bit conservative coming out. Tight corner. A lot of the resources tonight going into Stephen Thompson's Hurricane Force, so we will see just how hard Tim runs. He'll still try to be competitive, but it looks like right now he will not take over the spot from Christian Norman and Bigfoot as he crosses the finish line. Wait and see if he got past Stephen Thompson, though. We know he did not get past Christian Norman at 28:29. Put him in third position. I'll drop him to the bottom of the vehicles that have run so far now. John Gordon out of Hiram, Georgia, in bad company. Hard on the throttle. He slides way, way out. Gets over there by the gas pumps. Actually, we just had a camera go down back there. She had the right idea. Get out of the way. John Gordon in bad company with problems in the final corner. He tried to correct. He will ease the truck across the finish line. That may drop him to the bottom and actually power through that final part of the course. I thought he was just going to ease it over. He may be having a rear steering problem. John Gordon out of Hiram, Georgia with a 30.59. Puts him in 4th position. So Tim Menti is now in 3rd of 4 trucks. Here it comes. Jim Kohler in Avenger. One of 2 trucks left to go here in qualifying. Chris Ross throws the flag. Jim making a real aggressive pass as he hits the inside tire on that Freestyle obstacle as well. That engine is screaming right now. He may be having a transmission problem. And in fact, he is. I don't know if that was tire smoke or transmission smoke we just saw right there, but that truck does not sound right. 26.06 though puts him in 3rd. Not a bad time considering that the truck sounding a little bit off. I'd say that it was pulling awful hard for the amount of speed he was carrying. Sounded like the RPMs were way up. You can see right there on the injector. It was an aggressive run for Kohler, but I do believe he is having a transmission problem. And you're going to hear it as he's heading back to the pits. Listen, he'll wrap the throttle a couple times. Taking a look down. Now Chris Ross lining up. Chris Kohler, who has made it back to the line in Brutus. You can see that left front tire. 3 Michelins in a Goodyear, and that Goodyear is buffed way down. That may affect the handling characteristics of this truck quite a bit. Final corner, and he slides way out by the wall. Decent run for Chris Kohler and Brutus. It won't be a bottom of the barrel run, but it's not quite what I think he was hoping for. At 29.53 will drop him to 5th of 6 possible qualifying positions. Here's a look at your round 1 bearings. Bigfoot 18. Your number 1 qualifier will take on number 6 Bad Company. That is Hurricane Force and Brutus, and Avenger taking on Tim Menti in Storm Damage. Racing starts next on Monster Power. Back at the Motor Mile Speedway in Radford, Virginia, getting set for the first round of monster truck racing in Chicago style. Big, long oval these guys are going to have to take on. Very tight corners there. You see John Gordon and Bad Company, your number 6 qualifier, taking on your number 1 qualifier, Christian Norman and Bigfoot. You can see nearly a 6-second difference between the two. Late start for Gordon. He has some big old black marks on the starting line. See if he got that rear steering problem remedied. I don't think he did, no. He actually has to back up, and that will give Christian Norman a definitive advantage heading into the final turn. And Norman, unless something else goes wrong, he's going to walk away with it right there across the finish line. There you see John Gordon and Bad Company still struggling with the rear end of that truck. Not the way John Gordon wanted to represent that team here tonight. As the Lucas Oil Bigfoot heads back to the pits, Christian Norman. Bit of a walkover in the first round. Stephen Thompson now comes to the line in Hurricane Force. These guys are going to go real quick. There's a lot of racing to get through to determine the champion tonight. Your number 2 and number 5 qualifiers now taking positions on the line. Stephen Thompson, very, very consistent in his qualifying run in both turns. A little bit of trouble on that top end over there. Seems like that turn might be a little bit more slick going back toward the pit wall. Almost a 4-second advantage in terms of their qualifying time going into this round. So we'll have to wait and see what he's got for Chris Kohler. Even start today, leaving those black marks on the starting line. It shows you just how hard they're taking off. Chris Kohler now into the first turn. Stephen Thompson had to correct a little bit, but Chris Kohler is falling back. He got sideways coming out. Very aggressive, very solid final turn for Stephen Thompson. He will cross the finish line with the victory. Chris Kohler may be able to get back in as a fast loser. He's in the wall. Chris Kohler, he got over to the right-hand side of the lane there, and he is now sitting on top of the front stretch pit wall of the Motor Mile Speedway. Chris Ross heading down to see how Chris Kohler is. It was kind of a sudden stop. Overshadowed in that was Stephen Thompson and Hurricane Force taking the victory. We're going to get another look at this wild, wild finish to what was actually a pretty tame race. Truck got out to the left side. It looked like he corrected to keep it out of that freestyle obstacle, and once he aimed at that wall and the tire grabbed, it just pulled him right on in. Chris Kohler, one more look at it. This is from Mark Werner's camera. Bang! Caught the wall right there on the rim. Concrete chunks over on the front side. You can see the camera crew stepping back a little, although they were never in harm's way. Chris Kohler up in the cockpit. Hopefully we'll be able to get a word with him a little bit later on and see exactly what happened from his point of view. The loader is headed out that way. Rough night for this guy. He started with a lot of momentum, came out with a victory in the wheelie competition, but this was not the way he wanted to start off racing. We will see if he can get back in this thing. More ahead. Stay with us. Chris Kohler into the wall, and round one pulled a little Bob Breen old school TNT move right there.
Yeah, the truck's got side tread on it, so the second I touched that wall, it ate it and just sucked me right over.
It blew a tire during the wheelie competition. How is the truck right now?
It's running a little low on oil pressure, but besides that, I think it's running sweet.
You make it back out for freestyle?
Yeah, she's ready to go.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you, man.
Well, it'll take us right back around to the starting line for the final match of round number one, number 3 and 4 qualifier. And you can see the differential between the top half and the bottom half of the field. Almost a 2.5-second difference between the top 3 and bottom 3 as Jim Kohler and Avenger takes on Tim Menti and Storm Damage. Menti very aggressive in the corner, but the truck stays hooked to the left. Rear steering problems for Menti as Avenger heads around to the final corner. Little problem there for Kohler, but it's not going to hurt him too much. He gets out by the wall, and Menti's all over the corner obstacles. Problems for the Storm Damage Chevrolet. Avenger with a 26.73 elapsed time will take the victory. He actually lost time from his qualifying run. We'll go on board with him right now. This is what a racing pass around the Motor Mile infield looks like. But you can see him check up and then burp the throttle right there in that final corner. He got way, way outside. Had to correct. Tim Menti heads right back to the starting line. He actually will pick up the fast loser time, but I believe he may be the only healthy truck left in this thing. Of the guys who went out, Chris Kohler put it on the wall, and John Gordon's been struggling with rear steering issues all evening long. So Christian Norman and Bigfoot will be tasked with taking on Tim Menti and Storm Damage here in the semifinals. Menti getting the square body Chevy into position in his round one time, a 29.69 to Christian Norman's 25.28. So the advantage has to be right here in the front lane to start off Christian Norman and the big gold Lucas Oil Bigfoot. Very, very aggressive start for Christian Norman. Now taking it very tight in the corner. Stepped out just a little bit coming out, but he's very fast. He's about a half a straightaway ahead of Menti at this point. In a cloud of dust, though, I don't know how he sees that outside wall. As Menti bringing on the round in behind. Christian Norman goes on to the final round in Bigfoot. Where's Storm Damage? Somewhere in that cloud of dust. Christian Norman with a 23.94. Solid run. Now, Stephen Thompson will take on Jim Kohler in the Avenger. Thompson has got to be the favorite coming into this one. He has been solid all night long making his way around this track. Jim Kohler has not done bad, but he has had a few problems in this corner over here where Thompson is starting. You can see the difference right there in the round one time. 23.45 to a 26.73. Advantage Thompson. Kohler bumping the berm on that freestyle obstacle again. Stephen Thompson way out front. He is riding a ragged edge. He had to correct just like Chris Kohler, but he stayed out of the wall this time. All over the place in the final drive, but he will get a very, very convincing victory over Jim Kohler in the Avenger. What a race. That will send Stephen Thompson into the final round with a 23.83. Only lost a little bit from his round one time. To take on Christian Norman and Bigfoot. It's going to be a wild one. Monster Power returns with the finals. Stay with us. Bigfoot and Hurricane Force in the final round, and if one thing is notable, it's that every driver is being very cautious of that wall, and there's a good reason. And Avenger and Bad Company make their way out onto the infield of the Motor Mile Speedway as they head for their respective starting lines for the third place race, as John Gordon and Bad Company gets one more shot to put that Chevrolet on the board here at the Motor Mile Speedway. He gets back in through the brake rule. Something going wrong with Tim Menti and Storm Damage, who was supposed to be here. Avenger lost to Stephen Thompson in the semifinals. Bad Company lost to Bigfoot in round number one. Did Bad Company, did John Gordon get those rear steering problems fixed? And can he take Jim Kohler, one of the best in the country, to the absolute limit? Kohler first to the corner, and he eats that obstacle up again. Look, Gordon got out of the corner first. Looking so much healthier and very aggressive. John Gordon and Bad Company putting wild off the side of that obstacle right there. Spins out a little bit in the corner, and Avenger will take advantage of it. Gordon making it close close at the end. Gordon pushed Kohler to the end at 25.60 to a 26.32. Not a bad way to end things up here for John Gordon. He was impressive in the Bad Company Chevrolet. And a very, very even takeoff. Actually, Gordon got a little bit of a jump off the starting line. Got to the ramp at the same time as Kohler. And I am pretty sure that John Gordon figured out whatever was going wrong with the rear end of that truck, because he looked awesome on that pass. Look how close they were. About a half a length on the sets of cars. Now watch this. Gordon, boy, he just plowed off the side of that ramp right there. That hurt him. It threw him a little bit out of kilter in the corner. He was actually lined up for the ramp. Ate up the inside of the freestyle obstacle there too. So, Avenger in third, Bad Company in fourth. That will bring us to our final matchup in racing here at the Motor Mile Speedway. It'll be Bigfoot up against Stephen Thompson in Hurricane Force, the two most consistent vehicles here. And before we get to this, we had a chance to talk with both drivers about the runs that they're going to make.
I like the right lane for sure, you know, but I think the lanes are pretty even, so, you know, whatever lane I go to, we're just going to do our best, man.
Now, is the wall making you guys leery at all? And I know he got into it, but apart from that, is that wall making you guys leery when you come out of that turn over there?
You know, I wouldn't say leery, just cautious, you know, because obviously, you know, you want to drive with your head, you know what I mean? So you don't want to just, you know, if you're out of whack, you got to make sure you compensate for what's going on, you know. But now, you know, we do a lot of speedways like this, you know, so we're kind of used to it, but obviously it's always in your head for sure.
Made it all the way to the final round. You got a preference in the turns?
You know, I like this far lane over here, turning, you know, making the left here. And, you know, this first turn here, it's a little slick, you know, it's real tight. You got that wall right there, so you got to be right on it. You know, it's going to be a good race, Christian. Yeah, he's been very consistent. You know what, it's going to be a fun race no matter what. And, you know, win, draw, lose, it doesn't matter, man. These fans are getting a heck of a show tonight, and that's all that matters.
Well, Thompson is absolutely right about that. Some of the best racing we've seen so far this year has been right here at the Motor Mile Speedway. These two trucks, very, very close in average here tonight. So this should be a solid matchup. Here we go. The final round is on the line. Bigfoot with the jump coming out. Thompson's going to have to make up the difference. Thompson with a little bit better turn will now take the lead out of the first leg, going into the second again on that razor's edge, up on three wheels. And a near perfect turn for Stephen Thompson as he heads to the final jump with the victory. Stephen Thompson, a big lead for Christian Norman and Bigfoot. I don't think it was as close as Christian was hoping it was going to be. We know he wanted that win in the worst way. Stephen Thompson making his way back down the track in a dust storm. What a finish to the racing bracket here at the Motor Mile Speedway. And there you see Stephen Thompson, a 23.08 to top all the fast times we've seen here tonight. Hurricane Force will walk away with the racing championship here at the Motor Mile Speedway. Now, there are only two trucks who can walk out of here with an overall event victory. It's either going to be Hurricane Force or Brutus, and it depends on how they finish Freestyle. Stay with us. That's coming up next. Welcome back to the Motor Mile Speedway in Radford, Virginia, where Freestyle is underway, and his Menti and storm damage starting things off. Menti had problems during the racing bracket. He would love to make up for it here. Decent hit up over the turn number 4 van stack. He Heads down track. Being pretty aggressive in that dust bowl down there. Nose dive off the racing lane. We'll see how healthy the truck is. Nice hit up and over that van stack down by the pit side. They got nothing off of that during the wheelie competition, and he used it to perfection right there. Menti gonna lay down a strong run. He's gonna wrap it up right there. He was a good pace setter. These guys will have to go some to get a win here. They won't be able to just throw down a one-move spectacle and hope for a victory. So Menti definitely giving him something to go after as the next competitor. John Gordon readies his truck on the pit side. That'll be bad company out of the state of Georgia. We will see if the truck holds up. Remember, he had those rear steering problems earlier. They look fixed during the final round third place race as he storms the front stretch of the Motor Mile Speedway. Nice speed pass over the outside racing lane. And a lot of air out of the turn 4 van stack, and he wisely backed out of it right there. He was sort of aimed over some of this equipment here, so he didn't hit that with everything he had. It could have gone bad. He wasn't quite lined up for it. Now on the front stretch, he's in trouble here, though. He locks it up. He started getting over by that wall a little bit. I don't know what happened to him. It looked like it may have kicked on him again. Very, very wisely let out of it and got on the brakes. You saw the tire smoke hanging in the air. He did a great job keeping that truck out of the wall. Now back down to the infield. They will let him continue his run. A big hit off of that car stack. That is a big, big jump on the backside there. Making the most of this run. He is carrying a lot of speed. John Gordon out of Hiram, Georgia, taking it up a notch. He's going to set this move up. Let's see what he's got. Gordon may be having a problem with that rear steering still as he finds him a dusty spot. He cuts it into a cyclone. All tire smoke. I think he found the one bit of bare pavement left out there. I can't believe he found a spot with no dust. What a run by John Gordon and Bad Company. He will take the lead for the moment anyway. Laid down a shot, but the guy coming up behind him is the guy that got all that hang time during the wheelie competition. He has had some of the wildest rides tonight. Well, he's had the wildest rides tonight. That will be Chris Kohler in Brutus out of Columbus, Michigan. Father Jim Kohler told him to go for it. We will see what Chris has for John Gordon and the rest of the field here in Brutus. Big hit to start things off. He's already flattened out one rim. He's got nothing else to lose. Another huge hit off of the racing lane this time. Can't say he hasn't been spectacular tonight. A big sideways landing from Chris Kohler. Just so much hang time. run so far. He has sent that truck to the moon. Works his way around a very dusty infield. Let's see what he's going to do next. Headed back to this jump that gave him so much hang time. That was a big hit. That was about the lowest jump he's had in the run so far. Now, searching for something else to pick on. Let's see what Chris Kohler's got. Whipping up a dust storm on the infield of the Motor Mile Speedway. Where is he? Where is Brutus? In a cloud of dust. Hey, you can see the lane light in there a little bit of a truck. And the Lucas Oil insignia on the back window. Waiting for a safe time to get that truck out of that cloud. He wants to see something before he starts forward momentum. Make sure no one's standing in there, but Chris Kohler giving the fans what they came to see. A whole lot of hang time. His camera equipment is going to need a bath after tonight. There is so much dust hanging in the air. That's going to be a hard one to top. If anyone can do it, it's this next guy out of Hagerstown, Maryland, Stephen Thompson, driving the Natural Disaster Racing Hurricane Force Ford. Waste no time, two big hits back to back. He's been airing this thing out all night long, even in the racing. Look at this. You can actually hear the suspension going to work on that hit. Got himself bound up just a little bit on the backside of that obstacle right there as he brings it around. Let's see what he picks on next. I think he's going after the fan stack, and he indeed does. Big hang time off of that. He's definitely rivaling Chris Kohler. We said if anybody could take Kohler down, it was going to be Stephen Thompson in the Hurricane Force Ford. Carrying some speed. He's just going to need one big spectacular move because so far he's put the most hits down. Then the time and a big leap over the backside of the car stack over there. There's 4 cars sitting in that dirt ramp back there. It's like a brick wall. Let's see what Stephen Thompson has left in Hurricane Force. Another big hit. Oh, and the truck cut off on him in midair. Thompson coming down real hard. Couldn't power out of it. The truck fell out of the sky like a stone. Hopefully Stephen's all right. And he has refired it. They have had some problems over the season with the RII, and it sounds like it may have malfunctioned right there. And he's going to cut his losses at this point. Although he laid down quite a run, he definitely rivaled Chris Kohler. If he didn't beat him, he definitely matched him. He did what he needed to do, took a hard hit, and he's going to take it off the track. Well, he's still got something left of him, but the truck looks pretty healthy. Stephen looks to be okay, and we will move on to our next competitor. One of 2 left in the field. It's Christian Norman in the Lucas Oil Bigfoot out of Pacific, Missouri. We know Norman can get the job done. Showing off the big Ford horsepower in the Bigfoot 18 machine. Wide swing down the bank, back to the inside. Christian Norman goes to work in Bigfoot. Not quite getting the air I think he wants, but he is hitting everything in his path. And he's going to get bound up over in this corner as well. I think just about every truck that's made a run at this point has gotten bound up over by the wall, maybe with the exception of 1019 storm damage. Nice hit. Off of the turn number 4, Van Stack. He works his way back to center track. Boy, they made good on that racing lane and moving it right into that Van Stack over there, headed toward turn number 1. And he goes right up on the bank to get this thing turned around. Didn't mess with that wall at all. Used every bit of space he had out there. They actually moved some of the emergency equipment back a little bit so that they could get the trucks turned around a little bit easier, and it helped him out right there. Again, I don't think he's getting quite the air he's going to need as he backsides that Van Stack. He's the first one to do that. I don't think he's getting quite the air he's going to need to take a win here, but he has definitely hit everything he possibly could, so that's going to play to his advantage. He's gotten some nice air out of it, though. It's definitely not been a bad run. It's a strong run, but I think with the 2 spectacles he had in front of him, he may have needed to go a little bit more. That's not taking anything away from Christian Norman. He gets a big hit right there. Big Ford Hemi horsepower. Nice hit off of the Van Stack. I think he was trying to work it into maybe a slap wheelie, but the dust is just not conducive to that. A nice sky wheelie right there. Putting as much time on the run as he can. We can see a lot of different strategies coming into play here. Another big hit off of the rocket ramp. Over the car stack. That was an awesome launch. And Christian Norman may be about to wrap this one up with a donut. Nicely done for the Lucas Oil Bigfoot. For the moment, he's going to be in maybe the top 3 with that run. Definitely kept the momentum up as he slides into a stop right here in front of the grandstands. Christian Norman in Bigfoot, laying down one he can be proud of. You see all the dust collected up on the shaved sides of those heavy cleat Firestones. Heavily sponsored Bigfoot team. Some of the hardest working people in the business have passed through those legendary doors. Now in Pacific, Missouri, Christian Norman has made quite a name for himself at the wheel of this machine. Hopefully we'll be seeing him later on this year. We'll see how that run holds up. For the moment, it's between Stephen Thompson and Chris Kohler. Now, the other side, Team Stream Racing coming right out of the gate, hitting that Van Stack. That's probably the best hit anybody's gotten off that obstacle tonight. Another good sky wheelie off the racing lane. You know, Jim Kohler can keep up some momentum. This guy can dirt track with the best of them, and there's plenty to slide on out there. You have to wonder how healthy the transmission is in this truck after what happened to him in qualifying. Nice hit right there. The truck looks good. He took a hard lick on the initial hit. He actually broke his sway bar loose, it looks like, or at least the adjusters come off. You can see the red bar hanging down there on the left front. Another big hit. It's not going to stop him, though. And they're far enough out, it's not really a safety issue on a track like this. Closer proximity to the fans, they might shut him down. But here, he can keep on going and try to get that freestyle victory. Nice leap for the Avenger. Each run, it seems like they're getting more and more hits in. So I think they're watching each other and trying to figure out what will be their next strong point, because it's going to be hard to outdo what Chris Kohler did in air, even for Jim Kohler. And even he finds himself bound up there over by the tow trucks and the gas pumps. There's a set of racing gas pumps back there. You just don't want to swing around and get into those. Under the bright lights, Jim Kohler laying it down to the Avenger. Roll up over the van segment. You see those two posts down there. There's a power box right in between. There's a few of those on that backstretch, and they have to watch out for those. As I said, it's a little bit narrow back there. And I think Kohler's going to wrap it up right here with the Avenger. A solid run for him. Plenty of hang time, plenty of momentum, but I don't know if it was enough to take the lead and take the win. He was the final competitor. He's going to give us one more shot. It's a good one. Jim Kohler into a slap wheelie. One more hit from the Avenger. Mr. Excitement, not disappointing on this evening in Radford. And that will wrap it up right there. Now, we're just waiting for the word to come down as he pulls back into the pits. Your winner in freestyle will be Chris Kohler in Brutus. What a night he has had as we take a look back at the highlights from a spectacular run by the big dog out of Columbus, Michigan. Hear the fireworks starting to go off in the background. Boy, Kohler opened with two huge hits and then brought it around to this side. Massive hang time for this truck. There just wasn't anything you were going to do without getting that hang time to knock Chris Kohler down. Stephen Thompson came very, very close. It was a toss-up from where we stood. It fell on the judges. They thought that Chris Kohler did just a little bit more, and it might have been this right here. Dust tornado. Down on the infield of the Motor Mile Speedway. Probably one of the most spectacular nights of freestyle that the Motor Mile Speedway has seen in a solid decade of monster truck competition. So as the fireworks go off, the victory to Chris Kohler in Brutus, the overall event victory with a wheelie competition and freestyle. Congratulations to Stephen Thompson in Hurricane Force. Thanks to the Monster Truck Racing League, and for all of us here at Monster Power, we will see you down the road.
Hi, I'm Chris and Norman, and I'm Bigfoot. Hi. Yeah. My brother Phil does all the work on it. He does. It's a lot of fun. We love monster trucks. We used to stand in Jim Kohler's autograph line. It was fun. He's a great guy.
We used to scream at you all the time.
We used to scream at him.
Yeah, we got that.
Oh, cool.
All right.